Isn't that a bit of fun? Look at that. Animation, look. Simple little thing, something you've probably done at school. That little figure there is dancing. The legs are down and they go up in the air and the arms throw in the air, and it's animated, almost animated. But it's very, very easy to make. All you've got to do is have a pad of this sticky stuff and have two sheets to do it on. The first one will show the picture with his arms and legs down. And you use a biro because you've got to press down hard to make an image. So there's the head of the stick man, stick woman. Then two legs going down and two arms going down. But now when you look underneath, there's a very faint picture which you can't see, but I can just about visualize it. And I'm very accurately drawing exactly the same place, but this time with the body going down, I'm now going to put the legs going up in the air, and the legs going up in the air, and the arms going up in the air, and the arms going up in the air. And the last thing you've got to do is to roll it up so that it flicks and unflicks, rolls forward and back, and animates. Let's do that a couple of times because it's worth making it a nice tight coil. And that's all you do, and then we've got animation. Let's see if that holds. Yes, that's quite nice. So now let's see what happens, see if it's going to work. Yes, look at that. Arms flying in the air, legs flying in the air, animation, perfect. Isn't that wonderful? That could have been invented, centuries ago, long, long time ago. But into historical times, in about 1830, which is so little way back, they started inventing things called thaumatrope. And this is an example of one. There's a box of them, but I've chosen two I particularly like. The famous bird in the cage, which is spectacular, is an empty cage. You say, well, where's the inhabitant, the bird? Well, you roll it like that, and the figure appears because it's on the back all the time. And when it's put together, the brain interprets it as being inside the cage. We've managed to get the bird back in. He's going back for his lunch. And the other one I like very much, which I hadn't seen before, is an artist in the studio, and he's painting a picture. What's on the picture? Well, he started it because it's just the top half of a model of a woman, a very nicely dressed woman that appears in the top of the picture, and we put the two together. That's very nice. So the thaumatrope, 1830s roughly, suddenly got this thing going, these automatics. This is the modern version of the thaumatrope, of the two-image picture, but it's very strange, but it does work. And that little frog thing, when I turn this, animates just about. Click, 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 click. Isn't that fun? Put it the other way too. And the last one I want to show is this magic lantern slide. This is what we're going to show, but it won't appear very well actually until I put it in the picture. When I turn that up and down like that, it's going to animate. But let me show you, I have to get up to do this, when I put it actually into the lantern, and then you'll see a wonderful picture on the screen. We'll put that forward like that, push it in, push it across. There she is. We'll make sure this is a little bit out of focus. Now we turn the light on. Oh, it's in fairly good focus already, but anyway, let's get better. About there. And now we animate. We just lift the leaf up and down, up and down, up and down. But when you go fast, it seems to be as if it's going round and round and round the body of the little clown in the middle. Very nice effect. And of course that can be done on the screen in quite a large hall with a lot of people watching on. So that's a beautiful. That's probably the best of the ones which just animate with two pictures. And then about in the end of the 1800s, they started getting more ambitious and finding things of doing multiple pictures. And this is probably the best known example of it. It shows inside a strip of the artwork with the horse riders. And when you look through the slots, you get animation. So if you come right down and look at that through the slots, the picture, I'll turn it slow and then fast, of the horse appears to be galloping, 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 and there's about 6 or more pictures in sequence to give a sense of motion of the horse galloping. Very, very nice idea. So more than just two pictures. It started, I think, with that one there. There's an even more larger version here, which I want to demonstrate on a sort of mirror effect here by putting this in here on there like that. Oops, a little bit further forward actually. I'm going to lean it towards you and pick up this curious instrument here. So what we've got here, that's going to turn, but you've got to look at that not directly but through the slots, which means I turn it round that way like that and hold it up, and as I turn this, looking through the slots, you get some animation there. So that black thing, which is growing like a black ball, gets bigger and bigger and twists, and other bits. Something else at the top end is doing a nice little motion, multiple motion thing. Very nice effect. So that was really catching on about the 1890s. And then we get some wonderful ones here, which I think are, probably my favourites of these ones. Flipbook and the old. This is probably the best known of them, with the Via Bridge horse in his picture. Isn't that superb? It's got about 10 positions of the two pairs of legs, and the rider going back and forward is animated. It works very, very well indeed. It's so much more sophisticated than the others. And of course you've got flick books galore, which are the same thing. This is the Via Bridge cat that's leaping forward. He manages to catch loads and loads of pictures and then stitch them together and created a flick book effect. Superb. And the last one of this section is this one here, which is quite a modern one, but it's so well done. And I clip this forward like this, I think this way, like this. It's a boxer doing his exercises in the gym before he takes on a boxing match. Isn't that fun? Very nice. I like the sweep to it as well. Now we come across to something that's getting a little more modern. The proximoscope. This is very nice. It's very well lit because it's got the figures here. It's got no slots to look through. You're looking at a series of mirrors going all the way around the circle and animating the flight of the bird. I'll turn it here and see if I can make it work like this. You've got about 10 or 15 positions of the bird flight, of its wings going up and down and the head going up and down, and it animates very nicely. And it's very well lit too, which makes a lovely effect. So the Victorians were really revelling in this stuff and were making loads and loads of versions of this. Coming right up to date, a friend of mine, Rufus, has made this version here with the same idea. The cats are going to start leaping. It's got a torch here which is flickering. It's got a strobe light on it. When I set the cat forward like that and make him run forward, and I vary the speed of the cat just by varying the speed of the strobe, it looks as though the cat is really galloping along in high speed. He comes out of the blackness and becomes a brown cat, leaping forward, back and forwards, very, very nicely indeed. And you can make it slow or as fast as you want by speeding this up or speeding up the strobe light. And then we've got something very advanced indeed, because this is, I think, to my mind, by a long way the best version of this, of these optical toys. It's a little figure, and I've done all the positioning of the little man so that when I twist it, he's got to go through a series of movements, which is superb. Look at that. Flap, 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 flap with the arms, flap, flap with the legs, just like almost that very first one I showed, but brought up into 3 dimensions. And it looks so beautiful. You can see it's 3 dimensionals from the figures themselves, which are 3 dimensional. So that, I think, is probably the best up-to-date version of these wonderful optical operational toys which move and have movement, and a tremendous thrill when it was first being discovered way back in 1830 is the first recorded one. But these are a collection of them, and they're beauties, all of them.